we are going to take a look how fast a high savings rate can have an impact on your earnings through the power of compound interest. Hello and welcome. My name is Peter B. and welcome here at My First Million, where we try to achieve our financial goals together. So for this, I'm going to take a look and switch over to my most favorite simple equation, which I call the wealth cycle. This is the very simple basic of personal finance and achieving every personal financial goals. So basically we only need to know four things: how much we earn, how much we spend, and then the result of this, how much we save. And we use then these savings into investments, and if we get a positive return out of the investments, we can boost our earnings. So we can take a look at an example here. Let's say if someone earns $1,000 per month, of course this can vary a lot depending where you're living, but let's say someone is earning $1,000 per month. This will be an income of $12,000 per year. And let's say this person also spends $1,000 a month. How much will he save? Of course, zero. So he has two possibilities in order to improve his savings. And if he wants to achieve a very high savings rate, which is the topic of today's video, he need to do both. He on one side need to try to significantly improve his income. Let's say he can improve that by 25%, I believe. Then he would be earning $15,000 per year. And let's say at the same time he's able to cut his spending by $2,000 per year. So what would be the result here? He would be saving $5,000 per year. Of course, if you live maybe in the United States or in Middle Europe or somewhere with high cost of livings, 5,000 is not a lot per year. But if you see on this equation, for this person, 5,000 is a lot. He will save 1/3 of his whole income. At the end of the year will go into savings. So I would say everything above 30% is a high savings rate. So let's just use the 33.3% here of his savings. How much can he put into investing each year? So let's take a look at this. Of course, he can put aside 5,000 in the first year. So after 1 year, he earned 15,000, but he spent from this 15,000, he spent $10,000. So he was saving $5,000, and now he could use this $5,000 to invest. Now as a next step, let's say he is able to generate a 10% rate of return per year. So with a 10% return per year, this means he will be able, this $5,000 that he has invested generates him another $500 each year if he can more or less constantly keep the rate of return at 10%. So how does $500 affect his wealth cycle? In the second year, this would mean in the second year he would earn the 15,000 again from his basic income plus 500 from his investments. So in total he's earning $15,500. So here is the dollar sign. Okay, what will happen with his spendings? So let's say we only focus on the investment now. Let's say he can keep his earnings stable, he can keep his spending stable. And therefore, after 1 year later, his savings rate also increase, because 15,500 minus 10,000 equals 5,500. So in this, after 2 years, he is saving 5,500. So $500 more than he used to. So what does this mean for his investment in the third year? He can take this, let's see if this works, yes. He can take this additional savings and also put this into investments. So yes. So in the second year, what will he get out if he can keep a rate of return? What will he get out of his investments? He will still get the initial 500, but he also gets another 550. So the initial 5,000 invested generate 500. The new additional 5,500 generate another $550. So in the third year, how would his equation on the top of the wealth cycle look like? He would have still the 15,000 of earnings. And by the way, now maybe a pro tip. If you find this a little bit boring, feel free to set the speed to 2x on YouTube review so that you can follow along longer. Or also feel free to skip along more to skip the video more towards the end. So, but I'm going through this now for a few cycles so that we can see the impact of compounding interest. So let's see. After the third year, he still earns 15,000, plus he gets the 500 from the first 5,000 invested. Then he gets another 5,500 from the second 5,500 invested. So as a result, in the third year, he's already earning $16,050 US. So if he still has a spending of 10,000, he will increase his savings even more. So his savings will be 6,050. So what will happen after 3 years? He can take the 6,050 again and put it into investments again. So he will have an additional $6,050 invested. Let's see. So he has 5,000 from the first year, 5,500 from the second year, and then another new 6,050 from the third year. So what does this mean for the fourth year? He is adding, if he can, everything still being, we assume that everything keeps keeps staying the same. So this means in the fourth year, he's adding another $605 to the equation of earnings. So this is then the equation of earnings for the fourth year. So he can add an additional $605, and this means the total earning will be boosted to $16,655. So how much is he earning per month only from his original income? With his original income, he is earning $1,250. Now, only his investments just after 4 years is already generating more than 1 month's income. So this is showing how fast of an impact a high savings rate can have. So I think the goal for everyone, especially for everyone who's starting off, is try to start off fast and aggressive, because the impact will be huge. So just after 4 years, you can replace 1 month's salary if you want to. But of course, after 4 years, I won't encourage you to earn less here, but I would encourage you to keep on working hard, try to keep on earning more, live frugally to spend less, and keep a high savings rate, so that after a relatively short period of time, maybe 10, 20 years, a huge portion of your earnings already can be replaced by your investments. So of course this equation only applies if everything stays stable. Of course, sometimes in life some things can happen and the equation will worsen. But at the flip side, most of the times you will earn more. And if you can keep your spending under control, you should be able to save more as well, and therefore invest more as well. So this equation won't be stable throughout every year. So it's not very easy to plan, but it's a good framework to start off. So, to conclude this video, are you able to draw out your wealth cycle for yourself? Are you able to define your earnings, your spendings, and therefore subsequently be able to calculate how much your savings? What is your savings rate? I hope that you're able to save a lot. And are you using this savings to invest, to learn about investing, and try to get a good rate of return and a stable rate of return over the years? Please write down in the comments below where do you see your biggest area of potentially biggest area of improvements. All those 4 areas need to be strong in order to keep the wealth cycle spinning as fast as possible. You should have high earnings and low spendings in order to have a very high savings rate. And are you reusing your savings for investments, or which areas you still have potential to improve? So for myself, I think my earnings could be a little bit better, and I'm especially focusing on improving my rates of returns from investment. And I think these are the 2 areas that I'm focusing currently on, as my spendings are pretty deep now. I'm looking forward to welcome you again in a future video, and thanks a lot for your time, and I especially look forward to see you succeed financially. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.